Hello everyone. Today I will be preparing for you some chickpea and pasta cooked down in coconut milk. And if you want to see how I make this delicious meal, just continue to watch. So I'm going to be showing you how I prepare my chickpeas. Okay? Right here I have 2 cups of dry chickpeas. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be rinsing it off first. So I'm just rubbing everything together and getting it all washed and clean. So now I'm going to be soaking this 2 cups of chickpeas into 5 cups of water, because I'm going to be leaving it overnight, so it's going to absorb all of that water. So you have to make sure you put a lot of water in the chickpea, okay, to soak the chickpea. So after I put it to soak for overnight, this is how it looks in the morning. So you see, that's why you have to put a lot of water, because if you look at before, you'll see the amount that was in there, and then in the morning you notice the difference, right? So I'm just pouring off the water that I soaked it with, and I'm going to rinse it one more time. So one of the reasons why I soak my chickpeas before I cook it is because when you soak it, right, it's easier for it to cook, because the grains are super hard to cook if you don't soak it, and it actually gives it a different taste when you soak it. And if you want to know exactly what I mean, just try it with you not soaking it, and try it with soaking it overnight, and you will see the difference of taste. You know what I mean? So that you will definitely see the difference, taste the difference, and you actually see the difference. So I would tell you guys to soak your chickpeas overnight and then cook it the other day. So right now I'm going to be pressuring my chickpeas. Okay, so for the chickpea, I cooked it because I soaked it overnight. I'm just going to allow it to cook for 15 to 20 minutes, but it all depends on how much you're cooking at once. So I'm cooking 2 cups and I soak it overnight, so I will be cooking it for just 15 minutes. Okay, so right now I'm gonna get started on my pasta. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of coconut milk and 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. So I'm using the fettuccine pasta today. You can use the regular spaghetti or any macaroni of your choice, any pasta of your choice. You can just go ahead and use whatever you have. But for me today, I'm using the fettuccine pasta. So it's a different, it's just designed different. That's all it is. Okay. So meanwhile, my pasta is boiling. I'm going to be boiling it until al dente, or you can boil it according to the instruction on the package. So right now I'm starting on my seasoning. Okay, I'm going to be chopping up some onion, some red onion I'll be using today. If you have white onion, that is totally fine, right? But for me today, I'm using about 1/3 of diced red onion, and I'm just gonna dice that really small. Okay, so I have 4 cloves of garlic, and I'm just going to grate that. You can more or less garlic, but I love garlic and I love the flavor that it brings to the pot. So I'm going to be using 4 cloves today. So I have a few cherry tomatoes and I'm just dicing those. So here I have this is like around 1/2 cup of broccoli. If you want to use some spinach instead of the broccoli, or you want to use some kale instead of the broccoli, or some beans, you can just use whatever you have in your fridge, okay? Also, I'm going to be adding some carrots. And I'm just going to slice that up, not too thin, okay? Here I have quarter half red bell pepper. I love using bell peppers. So there you go. That's what I'll be using in my meal today. That's all the seasoning that I'm going to be using. Seasoning and vegetable. So I preheat my pan, and today I'm going to be using some avocado some avocado oil, okay? And that's about 2 tablespoons. So now I'm going to be sauteing the onion and garlic. So I'm just combining everything together, just mixing it. So remember, if you're not a lover of garlic, you don't have to use the garlic. You can just use the onion, okay? So after I left it to saute for 6 minutes, I'm just gonna add the chickpea to that. So after a few minutes of stirring it, then I'm gonna be adding my carrots. So right now I'm just going to cover it. I'm going to leave it for 5 minutes, and I'm going to turn the stove down to medium. So now after 5 minutes, go again and stir it, and then I'm going to be adding 1 cup of coconut milk. And you just want to stir that really well. So I'm just going to cover and leave it for 5 more minutes. So I'm going to be adding some powder seasoning. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of dill, onion powder, sea salt, oregano, bay leaf powder, and basil. So you can use whatever seasoning you choose to use, okay? But this is the seasoning that I'm using today. So I'm going to cover and let it simmer for 5 minutes. So I'm going to be adding my cherry tomatoes. My bell pepper. And then left to simmer. So what I did is to add half more cup of coconut milk, right? So I went back and had half more cup of coconut milk. So now I'm adding my pasta and my broccoli. So now I'm just gonna combine everything together. You want to mix it really well. You want to combine everything really well, okay? So I'm just going to leave it covered and let it simmer for at least 7 to 10 minutes, okay? Because you want the coconut milk to seep into everything, okay? So now we're going to be serving this out. So this is my chickpeas and pasta cooked down in coconut milk. And let me tell you, you should be in my kitchen right now smelling this, okay? So please guys, remember to like, share, comment, right? And subscribe if you're new to my channel, okay? I do appreciate your guys' love and support. So please, in the comment section, just spam the comment section and you can just share some of your meals ideas with me and I could go and try it, okay? Thank you guys for watching.